Okay guys, so every Sunday we come up to Summer Moon and we do a coffee date. Kendra did hot chocolate and I did a 1/8 whisper. Today we're going to be going into Let's Get Deep. It's questions about personal life, so we wanted to take you along for the journey. Let's dive in.
You want to go first?
Paper, rock, scissors. Winner gets to pick if they want to go first or not.
Okay. So it's paper, rock, scissors, and then shoot. Okay. Paper, rock, scissors, shoot.
Ja, 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 ja. You go first.
Okay. Would you rather be able to speak to animals or know all foreign languages, and why?
I would definitely want to know all four languages, so I could go to like different cultures and speak their language, know what they're saying. Oh, more importantly, you know how you're on like a bus, airplane, and somebody else is speaking a different language, like Spanish or
You would know what
French?
they're saying?
Exactly. This person's talking about me right now. I've always wanted to do that. Like, oh, I know what they're saying. What about you?
I would want to be able to speak to animals. Some very smart person created Google Translate for me to be able to turn that on if I really wanted to.
Who would be the first animal you talk to?
Trip.
What would you ask him?
Nothing. I would just listen to him.
Well, if he has nothing to say.
Oh, he does. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Maybe even Dixie, because she probably has more to say than Trip.
Yeah. There's three things that she'd probably just put on repeat. I'm hungry. I need to go to the bathroom.
And leave me alone.
And leave me alone. All right. If you had to name 3 life rules, what would they be?
Be honest.
That's a good one.
Do what you say you're going to do.
Oh, that's gold.
And do things that make you happy.
Man, that's brilliant.
I'm a brilliant person.
You are a genius.
What about you?
If I had to name 3 life rules, what would they be? Design the life that you want to live. If you feel like you're a prisoner, or if you feel like you're doing something that's not fulfilling or not making you happy or come alive, then it's time to put an action plan in place. The second one be make sure you're serving and impacting those around you. So whatever you learn in life yourself, personally or professionally, make sure you're paying that forward, whether it's a niece, whether it's a family or friend. You help them. You're building a ladder to pull them up. And you're not just creating a rich life by yourself. And then the third would be to make sure that you take care of your health and optimize your health, because a healthy person can have hundreds of goals over a lifetime, but an unhealthy person that is sick has one goal, and that's to get healthy. That's my 3 life goals. Might make for a good video or something, what we just did, or a podcast, or a YouTube video. We should record this.
He knows it's recording. What song reminds me, are you of me?
What song?
Reminds you of me.
Well, the one song that we were sitting in the Camaro, and I think we had our first kiss, right? A little over 12 years, about 11 years ago. We were in Chili's parking lot in Conroe, Texas.
13 years ago.
13 years ago, Chili's parking lot in the Camaro. It was Enterprise rental car, because I was, I think, renting it, or maybe just driving it for lunch. And the song on 92.9 come on. It said, "Are you gonna kiss me?"
That reminds you of me?
Yeah, every time I hear that song, I'm like, oh, that's my wife.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you? What song?
I don't feel like it's as nice as your answer.
That was a nice answer.
It was nicer than mine.
It's okay. We're all in real.
It's like hard to love, hard to love.
Kevin.
I don't know, whatever that Hard Man to Love song
Hard
is.
to love. Oh, Brian Bryce or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Hard man to love.
Yeah.
I'm a hard man to love.
Yeah. But I think anybody would be hard to love. It's hard to be in relationships.
Yeah. That's true. Is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I've learned about life about that? When you think somebody else is hard to love, like when I think about family or friends or community or employees, I think about this. I'm like, is it that they're hard to love, or is it me?
Oh, it's definitely both of us.
Yeah. But I'm like, when I started learning, I'm like, oh, I need to love myself more. Once I started loving myself more, that internally, externally, it was easier to love other people, my wife, my family, my friends.
I love you.
I
It's
know.
just some of your characteristics are hard to work with.
Do you think it's because you see what you see in me is what you see in you when you look at the person in the mirror?
I don't know.
Do you feel like you're easy to love or hard to love?
Oh, I'm definitely hard to love too,
Me too.
but also easy.
you full transparency.
Depends on my attitude.
You are. It depends on. I've learned that about you. I'm like, all right, I know when Kendra's optimal. When she's optimal, that's typically like when you're easy to love. But then one of the things that I've tried to really level up this year is when you're not easy, when you're not hard to love, or when it's hard to love you. I'm like, that's where I look myself in the mirror and going, it's me, not you.
It is. You.
It's like the Taylor Swift song. It's me. It's you. I'm the problem. It's me.
Yep, that's the song.
Now you're going to remember that song when you hear it next.
And I'm going to change it because I don't love Taylor Swift.
I don't know. All right. This turn. My turn. Deep. What's something you're passionate about? Why?
Probably teaching. Teaching what I teach. I could never in my life teach math or English or any actual subject in school besides like what I teach.
Yeah.
But
Why? Why are you passionate about that teaching?
Because I enjoy business and I enjoy like talking about business and I enjoy kids getting passionate about something and figuring out where they could do something. So like obviously social media is my favorite class to teach.
Yeah.
And this kid's like so excited this semester to take it because his dad just opened a tile and grout company and he wants to start being able to post on social media and help his dad grow his business so it can be like their thing.
Yeah.
But him do the social media side of it because his dad doesn't know how. And he was like, I want you to be able to show me how to create content and show me how to post it and like where to post it and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, don't worry, you'll learn it all.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, just seeing like the drive in people and taking what I taught them and doing something with it. And
Putting it
then
in
like
place.
how they've changed their life over the years or like seeing my DECA kids grow into young, bright individuals. And I don't know.
Isn't that interesting how it works? Like what really actually fulfills us? We think it's the cars, it's the houses, it's the dogs.
I mean, I don't know. My dogs do fulfill me. You cannot take that from me.
They do.
They do.
But what does really fulfill you?
I mean-
Serving and impacting others.
Okay, but also my dogs. So you got to take that part out. But I get the other part, the materialistic stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, it's fun, it's nice, it's cool, but truly fulfillment. I enjoy my job.
But I feel like you've always, ever since I've known you for the last 11 plus years, it's never been a big deal to you. It's like, oh, I gotta have, that car would be nice, but it's like, that's not where you're gonna tie your happiness to. You've always have you always been like that? Since, like even
Well,
when
it's
you were
hard
18?
to dream of a car when your first car was a red Ford Explorer with red leather interior.
Yeah,
You learn very quickly. It really doesn't matter. It still got me from point A to point B.
that's right. But where'd you learn that appreciation to have?
Well, I mean, I still like things. I just don't value cars.
Where'd you learn that from?
I don't know.
Because a lot of times, like,
But I definitely like things. I love going shopping. I love clothes. I like.
yeah, but that you don't
But
put
it
that in your
doesn't fulfill
fulfillment.
me,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. You don't put value.
I mean,
on
it might be a temporary Band-Aid.
Yeah, temporary fix. See, that's authenticity right there.
What about you?
Why you gotta change the subject?
No, because
When you
we're playing the game.
something I'm passionate about and why. Man, something I'm very almost obsessed and passionate about is growth. Not just growth.
I know that. I
Yeah.
can see that.
I really, once I understood that everything happens inward, then happens outward, I started understanding oh, I need to grow myself personally and professionally. I need to grow myself as a husband, as a leader. And so once I understood that and looked inward, then I can apply what I've learned by by growing in whatever field, leadership, sales, marketing, and help other people that are maybe stuck or lost.
So what you're saying is you also like to help other people.
Exactly.
Oh.
We both like to serve and impact.
Yeah, we do. What is something you know way too much about?
Ooh, that's a good question. What is something I know way too much about? I would probably say, yeah, that's a good question. Too much about. The first thing that came to my mind I feel like I know a lot about life, but I know this much. And so full context on that question is, like, I feel like I know a lot about you and like what makes you tick, what doesn't make you tick, what makes you happy, because I asked you questions. And so I feel like I know a lot about you.
Because you had to study me for the last 13 years.
13 years. But what's exciting is that I find out more and more and more that the version of you, the version of Kendra that was 11 years ago, and now the 10.0 version of you now, it's like you're continuing to grow, and that's what I thought I knew way too much, but now I'm like, oh, she's growing, she's evolving as a wife, as a human being, and I don't know, it's a new, profound perspective. What about you? Something you feel like you know way too much about?
I have no idea.
It's a tough question.
What do you feel like I know way too much about?
Well, when I think about like kind of what I share with you in my mind, it's like I know like what makes you sad and what makes you mad, and so
yeah. But I kind of look at this like almost like a negative way, I guess you could say, because it's like because it says what's something you know way too much about, like something like that it's stupid that you almost know that much about something.
Exactly. Yeah, it's almost like if it was a subject or if it was
because like obviously I know a lot about like social media and marketing, but I don't know if there's way too much, because that makes zero sense because I teach marketing, so I have to keep learning.
Yeah.
But
would it be something to do with like crafting?
Well, see, I feel like that's valuable. So I'm trying to think of like what is something really like dumb that I know a lot about.
Yeah.
That's like absolutely pointless.
Maybe dogs? Anything to do with your predicting?
What if it is how to play Tetris? How to strategically place the little game, or the little game I play on my phone.
How many hours do you think you put into that game?
A lot. It challenges me.
5, 50, 100?
Are you talking in a day, or are you talking forever?
Lifetime.
I don't know.
So if somebody new pulled up Tetris on your phone, you'd be able to
it's not technically called Tetris. It's called Block Sudoku.
Block Sudoku.
Or whatever that word is.
So would you be able to literally do like a 60-minute like speech on the way your brain works and how you play it?
Yeah, and how much it annoys me, because sometimes it makes me angry.
Why does it make you angry?
Because you don't get to choose your blocks. It gives you your blocks. But I guess that's kind of like life, but whatever.
What a beautiful analogy.
Okay, your turn.
All right. What's something that comes easily to you?
Making a wreath. Everyone thinks it's so hard, and it comes very easy to me.
So easy to you.
But I can't paint for the life of me, so.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, for me, it would be something that comes easily to me. And I'd probably just say like getting up, going to the gym, fitness.
That kind of is easy for me too.
People are just like, how do you do it? Why do you do it? And I can't stay disciplined to do it. I'm like, get up, lace my shoes, just creating those habits. So going to the gym.
Running faster than your wife is very easy for you to do.
As for now, it's only a matter of time. keep putting in the work.
See? What makes you anxious?
Oof. Makes me anxious. I would probably say getting like task and responsibilities. Like for me, it's like if I know today's Sunday, Monday through Friday's coming up, I have a podcast, another mastermind group, or a leadership meeting. Like I'm anxious about those. Like I cannot wait to be in that environment and again to execute, to be there with the people. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm always just anxious about that because I think to a certain degree, I enjoy it. And like the half marathon coming up, the High Rocks mixed doubles coming up, doing those things, I'm like, I cannot wait. I'm excited to toe the line. Which the alternative to that, it pulls me away from the here and the now because I'm always thinking about the future. Yeah, it creates anxious. What about you?
Any type of race we do, I get very, very anxious right before we go.
Like a day before, a week before, a month before, 2 months before?
No, like 10 minutes before.
Oh, 10 minutes before? That's what makes you anxious?
Yeah, so I have to use the restroom like 15 times because I get so nervous.
15? Just 15?
Yeah, within like 10 minutes. It's pretty accurate.
Race, that's a good one. Why do you think it makes you anxious?
Any like big events, I don't know. I'm just like nervous to see like the outcome because it's unpredictable.
Yeah, so you resonate with that, like
if I can't guess the outcome of it, or if I don't know what's going to happen,
right.
It makes me anxious.
Are you more anxious about the half marathon that's coming up March 1st, or are you more anxious about the High Rocks?
High Rocks.
Why?
Because you're my partner.
Why would that make you more anxious?
Let's see. You run super fast, and I try, and then I break my leg. Also, you are like a perfectionist and like an achiever, and you want to get like first place. And if we don't, it's honestly my fault because I can't run faster. Because in reality, it's about the running.
Do I make you feel that way?
It's not about you making me feel that way. It's just like your expectations.
Yeah.
Me knowing you as a person and your expectations makes it more anxious. Because like the half marathon, I'm literally going into it just to do a half marathon because I've never done it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it by myself. Like, I mean, yes, you're running, but it's Kendra by herself, not a team.
One of the things that I look at is when we do the High Rocks mixed doubles, and I've shared this context with you behind the scenes, is that it's not necessarily my expectations are, okay, yes, we're going to go and we're going to shoot for the North Star, first place. But the real expectations, the real standards is I want you to give 110% effort. That's where my expectations are.
My other expectation is, though, for us to get a faster time, you might need to start carrying me on your back just to see how it feels.
You know I'll do whatever it takes to make that happen.
No, I'm serious. Just in case. Just in case.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or we should probably look in and see if they allow roller skates. I'll just roll right on by you.
You said you were going to look into the shoes that have
the Heelys. They're like rollerblades.
Heelys.
I'm pretty sure it's like totally unethical to do that, but
yeah,
it'd be a great time.
Well, we've got 6 weeks. You got plenty of time to build up your aerobic base. Your body's healthy. You're feeling good. You're looking good.
Yeah, I guess I'm also getting more anxious about that as well, though, because 7.5, 8 weeks before our last High Rocks is when I broke my leg.
Yeah. Well, and you're playing this smarter approach now, because then you were putting 40 miles, I think it was, a week.
Yeah.
You're up to 40 miles.
Yes.
And you barely were in that a month.
So
prior to that.
But it's about me overtraining and not being smart about recovery.
And now you're being smart about it.
Trying. Can't say I've been the best at it.
Can't wait. All right, is my turn or your turn?
Your turn.
What fictional character do you relate to the most? Why?
Fictional means it's not true.
I was thinking the same thing. Because non-fictional is
Google
Harry
it.
Potter, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Let me see.
Not an English major.
We'll call it a lifeline. What does
Fiction. I think fiction means it's fake.
What does fiction mean? describes imaginary events and people. Something that
Okay,
is
so it's not true.
untrue. Yeah, it's untrue.
What fictional character do you relate to the most?
It's a good question.
I'm trying to think of like a book I read or like cartoons, only because I do not really watch, like, I don't watch any of the like Spider-Mans or anything like that.
Did you ever watch Power Rangers?
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you what it was even about. I just watched the Pink Girl Power Ranger. That's all I wanted to be.
Who's like a superhero that you always looked up to?
I don't.
What-
Like, not a fake one. What fictional character do you relate? What is your answer to that?
So mine would be something along the lines of like Superman. Like,
Why you say you relate most to Superman?
great question. So Superman feels like he has to mask. He puts on the mask and he's like Superman to everybody. He comes and saves the day. He serves. He impacts the community. But then behind the scenes, he's just Clark Kent. And Clark Kent is the guy that takes off the mask and he feels like he's his true self. So, Superman.
I kind of think Cinderella.
Cinderella? Interesting. Why Cinderella?
In a way, that's the only thing that could come to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because she's like always doing stuff for other people,
Yes.
and she tries to do the right thing, but then like sometimes people don't like her because of like her personality, or like they're assuming she's a certain way, so they might not like her.
Yeah.
And then like she's always doing for other people, but not a lot of people do for her.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, man, I can totally see that. And what I learned about Cinderella, and I see it in you, is that you're your authentic self. You are who you are. You're transparent. You're real. You're raw. Like, what you see is what you get. That's Cinderella.
And I would probably break a heel too, so that would also work.
Yeah, you would. And the funny thing is, you would laugh about it.
I would just run.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, and she didn't want to be late.
That's right. You never want to be late. Oh my gosh. Which is another quality I love about you. I cannot
I can't
imagine.
stand when people are late.
I cannot imagine a
And
marriage.
She did not want to be late.
Yeah, she didn't.
No,
To the
she
ball.
to the going back home at midnight or whatever.
And what?
Well, that's because she was gonna like everything was gonna change again or something like that. But
Yeah, wasn't she super sweet with like animals too? Didn't she have like some animals around her?
yeah, Gus was like her best friend.
Gus. Yeah, that's trip to you.
Yeah, I know. So me and Cinderella.
Cinderella. That's good. Cinderella, Cinderella, Cinderella.
No, it's Cinderella, Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella, yeah. That's cute. All right.
We
got
can
time
do
for
like
one more? Two more?
one or two more.
Okay, 2 more. Is it my turn?
Yeah. I just had the fictional character one.
Okay. Is there a movie that changed your life? If so, which one? Is there a movie that changed your life?
I wouldn't say that it necessarily changed my life, but one that opened my eyes was The Sound of Freedom,
Oh,
where they did the human trafficking. Because
Yes.
like you hear about it,
yeah.
but like we don't see it, and so it seems like it's not really there.
Right. Yeah, 'cause you
Well,
don't
at
know.
least in my brain, because I don't watch like news and all that.
Right.
But you'll hear about human trafficking or that it's issues, but we don't see it. Like
Yeah.
obviously, we don't know anyone that like human traffics people,
Right, exactly.
which is a great thing.
We're not in that environment or...
But it opened my eyes to like what is actually like out there.
Interesting.
I wouldn't say like it made this huge impact on me though.
Yeah. But it brought a different perspective, like, oh, this is going on around
Yeah.
me. It's good. For me, movie that changed my life, I probably... It's hard to just put one movie like, oh, this movie changed my life.
I think my problem is I just don't pay attention to movies that well.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some really good movies out there, but I mean, the more recent one would probably be what's the one where the fighter, a little girl that's the underdog, and then she gets taken
Fire
by a
Within.
coach. The Fire Within. there's been other movies that we and you have watched like that, but basically the story is about an underdog, and you have that fire within you to do what it is that you want to do. Be a fighter, be an entrepreneur, and so finding that internal fighter, that underdog mentality,
and your cheerleader or your coach.
Exactly. Which that's a great point. Like for me, that's why I've always told you it's so powerful for me to have loyalty in my life, and that's you, my wife, and Trip. But you have supported me. Like I cannot think of one time that where you were like, you shouldn't do that, or you.
I'm sure there's been a time where I told you shouldn't do something, but it might not have been a good thing.
I probably didn't listen. That's probably my stubbornness. But you, for the most part, you've always been like, you've always supported me in my like crazy endeavors.
I mean, it was probably the time that I told you not to do a wheelie in the middle of the water in a 4-wheeler, and you did, and then you lost your iPhone in the middle of the river.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like starting a business or wanting to travel somewhere crazy. You're like, all right, let's go.
I thought of another movie.
What?
Taken. Makes me pay attention to my surroundings, so I would say that it has forever changed my life.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it makes me think about like, oh my God, if I got kidnapped, what would I do? Or make me like pay attention to what's going on, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody might kidnap me and try to take me.
It's possible.
Although I think that's about human trafficking too. But anyways.
Yeah. But they run congruent together.
I think we have time for one more.
Okay. Finish us off.
If you won the lottery, what would you do with the money?
If I won the lottery, what would I do with the money? If I won the lottery, what would I do with the money? The Sean version of me 5 years ago would have been like, oh, I'm going to go buy a house. I'm going to go buy a car. I'm going to go buy something stupid. It's not going to bring me any fulfillment. But honestly, I would want to set something up where I would allocate the money. So if it was $1 million, right, I'd allocate a percentage of the money back into what it is that I'm doing, building the brand, right, the personal brand. And then a percentage of that's like, I don't know if I would want to give the money to like family and friends because it's just not as appreciated, but something along the lines of that, of like, if somebody wanted to start a business, like my dad, he's got his business, or mom, like I would want to help them some way or shape or form with capital to help them build that. Because you give a man a fish, he eats for a day, but you teach a man a fish, he eats for a lifetime. So I will never give him money away.
Mine's not that deep.
Okay. What's yours?
I would, it depends on how much money it would be also, because the lottery.
$1 million.
Oh, I don't know. But I would pay off any debt that my parents have, and I would buy property that we could all but big enough property that everybody's on their own corner.
Yeah.
Not too close.
Not too close.
But build like a thing where our parents can be on there because they're getting older.
Yeah.
And then I would give whatever, like after I paid off my parents' stuff and we all were like in the compound.
That's the best way to put it.
Then I would split the remaining and give it to my sisters so that they could take care of their families.
Yours is way cooler than mine. It's very heartfelt.
But don't get me wrong, if they used my money in a bad way, believe me, they would hear about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if Casey just went shopping with it.
Yeah. Well.
But she could be able to get her own house where she wants, maybe not so far away.
Yeah.
Carmen could probably buy a bigger house that actually fits the 13 kids in it.
That reminds me of the Brady Bunch.
That's bigger than the Brady Bunch. It's Brady Bunch squared.
Yeah. Or you could just, I'm sure my dad would just love to build something.
Or we could just put them on the compound too. But super far away because they got a lot of kids.
Yeah. So we'd need like a couple 100 acres.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
I guess it's time
Love you.
to probably pack it all up and go to church.
Let's do it.